First of all, a happy birthday to XBS, and being the amazing guy that he is, he was actually the one who gave us a birthday present in the form of this new truck, the Autocar AT. Let's go and check it out. Hey guys, Clumsy here. And yes, we are checking out another Autocar truck from XBS. The previous one was the DC. This one is the AT series. And as you can expect, with this being an XBS truck, everything in terms of quality is at its maximum. Anyway, let's go and check it out. The previous one he did for us was the Autocar DC, this one. The new one, which is the Autocar DC, in my opinion, and I'm no expert, but it looks to be more of a classic look, right? An older looking truck. I think this is the more iconic of the Autocar brand. But now he released for us this Autocar Series AT, which is more in line with the more familiar US trucks that we've seen in terms of looks. But it surely does have its own signature as well. Now, first and foremost, I did always want to check the performance aspect for those of you guys who have a bit of the older PCs. If you're wondering if this will be okay for you, my answer is, this being an XBS truck, it definitely will be. If you look at the triangle count right here, only 349,000. Normally what we have, if it's a truck, a modded truck, normally it's in the millions range, especially if it's like a Frank Peru. And that's going to be very taxing on your PC. But this one, XBS, is a master of his craft. He basically makes SCS level optimized trucks, so no worries about the number of triangles right there. So in terms of performance, you have it covered. Okay, now what can you do with this? 3 possible cabins, day cab, and the various sleeper sizes. I absolutely love how these look. I don't know, it just works, doesn't it? And if you guys have more details on what the difference is, like the DC versus the AT Autocar trucks, go and let me know in the comment section below. Give some more info there, because I am an ignoramus when it comes to trucks and their histories. But I do want to show them off, and I do want to drive them. So I let the expertise, I leave it up to you, okay? So a couple of different options with the tanks here. 220 and 300, main difference being that guy right there. And you have an option later of making that into a painted version, which is looking super sleek. Absolutely love that. Anyway, let's go back to the engine. Now the engine, by default, it comes with a Caterpillar engine. Couple of options from 400 to 550, so I think these 4 are the default engines. But because I have the mod Rob's Engine Pack from the Steam Workshop, this is also in the mods list, link is in the video description. All the other options are here as well. Yeah, so pick whichever you like. Personally, and the one we're going to drive with in this video is the Caterpillar 550. I think that is included in Rob's pack, so it changed the sounds and now uses Krish Bump sounds. The default one, I'm not sure what it is, but I am definitely loving this one. You'll hear it in a bit. Eaton Fuller transmissions, ranging from 7 speed to 18 speeds. The interior, you have a couple of options here as well. Charcoal, walnut, what is that? Vinacci. Not familiar with that, like maroonish finish, or an exclusive one. So standard or exclusive, more fancy textures. Walnut, mahogany. Up to you which one you like. But I do love the interior. Yeah, amazingly classic look. I'm just not a fan of that huge sun shield right there, which covers like 50% of the entire windshield. But thank goodness, you can easily replace that with a stock version like so. And that gives us much better visibility. I like that. In terms of paint jobs, there are some which are built in, so some of the default solid colors, but there are 3 which have very nice designs, and they're all customizable in terms of colors. So that's actually pretty sleek. This is the one we're going with today, the one you saw in the beginning. So you can change that into blue, Of course, me being me, we go with blue. Yeah, something like that, something like this, and something like that. So you can easily do something with that kind of color combination. Very sleek look. Yeah, number of dots, not so many, just enough. Metal deflector. I don't like how it covers the view though, but it might be very practical. But since we don't have bugs or anything, we can actually just remove that. Well, we have virtual bugs, but not the bugs I'm talking about. The bull bar can actually be changed as well. Ah, this is something I missed in my truck. But yeah, that actually is pretty sleek, huh? Can have some Fender Guards. 3 options for the bumpers. I like this one, Mjolnir. Options for front mirrors, I picked that one. And since this is very friendly on the performance, I can afford to have mirrors in there. Remove those lights. Quarter or half fenders. On top here, you can have your lights. So the usual 131. Right, something like that. And at the back, you can have some horns. There is no spoiler or anything because I guess that's this one already. And I think the Autocar is originally designed for heavy hauling. So maybe not so much into the box types, the box trailers. That's what I think at least. This one is actually, yeah, the painted version. Yes. Couple of mud flap options here as well. The one I chose was this one. Cat Diesel Power. Paulie would love that. I remember Paulie is usually making the cat paint jobs. Maybe he'll make one for this too. And also this truck actually comes with its own tires. Michelin XTN2 grip. I love how the black finish, because the default tires are usually more grayish. I always wish they were more black. I think there's even a mod for that. Here you can have 2 options. But yeah, very simple look. Actually, I didn't check if they had their own wheels here. Rims, I don't think so. But I just kept with the default one. Yeah, no other stuff here. Yeah, but you don't need to do so much to make the truck look amazing. So it's all part of the default truck. No need to change much there. Here you can have your own GPS, 5-inch GPS navigation. Here you can have a digital clock with a gear. That's going to be very helpful. No hanging stuff. No toys. So unfortunately, no Clumsy mug. There is an option for a white or black steering wheel. And you can change the shifter to be an old style or a new one. What is this? Ooh, wow. That I think is prehistoric. I'm not even sure how to make that work. Cool. I personally went with this one, the old style 13. Looks properly vintage. Yeah. So that's the basic stuff. It's pretty cheap actually, 32,000 only. Wowzers. So there you have it. And now with that kind of config options shown, it's time to take this for a test drive. Let's do this. This is my favorite part of the video, so because I get to actually drive. Let's hear it first. This with the cat engine, as I mentioned. Very crisp sounds. It gives me goosebumps. Loving the interior here. Super crisp textures. Now what I noticed was, you get the blinkers, right? But they don't actually light up unless you have your at least spark lights on, like that. Now you see them lighting up very subtly. But if you have your lights off, they won't light up either, which is quite interesting. Not the design I'm familiar with, but maybe the older trucks have it like that. Alright, but yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, let's get going. Now, can I make it through there? Let's make a U-turn there. Might be a disaster, but we can try. All the gauges for sure are modeled. The brakes, the air pressure, Speed comes with MPH and KMH indications, RPMs, voltage, oil, pressure, and everything. Yeah, everything looks good. So we are starting from Spokane, going to Wenatchee. It's going to be a short trip, only 186 miles, just so we can test this truck out. Is that okay? Yeah, I think that's doing good. We can actually make that U-turn. That's convenient. Sorry, I'm just taking it very slow so I don't bump into something with a truck this new. Just don't hit anything. Thank you. I'm not sure which rev range is the ideal for this truck. Basing on the sounds though, it seems to like something going above 1500. Maybe 2000 RPMs is when we should shift. Particularly liking those very crispy, clicky indicator sounds. Oh, I love that sunrise. Perfect time to start the trip. It does seem a bit partial to the 2000 RPM shifting. Based on the sounds at least. What do you guys think? Is there a more scientific way of determining that? Like where is the ideal rev range depending on the transmission you chose? Stuff like that. And yes, because of the gear indicator, you can see the actual gear we're at. Ooh, I think this one is going to be our thumbnail. Let's see. Take a photo there later. Yep. And we have 35 mile speed limit in here. How are we in terms of FPS? Actually a bit low FPS right now. There we go, 60 again. I locked my FPS to 60 because that's the limit that you guys can see anyway. So I increased the graphics quality instead. Ah, perfect, thank you. Traffic lights are working with us. So even inside the city, you have 60 FPS. Little Caesars. Who will remember that? That was one of my favorite pizzas before. Oh, please don't hit anything. Thank you. Stay on this side. Man, look at those clouds. Aren't they beautiful? Alright. Well, we're testing this. Many of you guys have possibly been wondering about the constant farm sim content that's been coming out. As you can see, I am pretty much addicted to farming. I haven't done much trucking recently. I did in the beginning of last week, but then I showered everybody with all the farming sim content, and I'm absolutely loving it. And stay tuned for more. But don't worry, the trucking videos will not disappear. They are here to stay. That's why you are watching one right now. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying the farming aspect. Not the farming itself, to be specific, but I'll actually probably make a video on that. I'm really enjoying how it looks, how the farm sim mechanics are, because it's not all about farming. Actually, a big part of it is about logistics. It's about trucking. You know those features that we've been wishing for? Going out of your truck, loading up the stuff, really going with different trailer configurations, different axles, dollies, locking the dollies when reversing. All that stuff is actually in Farming Simulator. You can have all of those. And it's quite interesting how the mechanics are. It's the first time I've seen how a hook trailer works, and I've never seen how that worked in ATS before. I'm not even sure if I've driven one in ATS before. But yeah, because that part of the game is not yet here. I mean, ATS and ATS 2, it's an amazing truck driving simulator, right? The driving aspect, the physics is amazing. the shifting, everything is realistic. The visuals, the landmarks, the map. So the driving aspect is pretty much locked down. But being a trucker, being a truck driver is not just about the driving. It's getting into the company, getting into the area and loading stuff up and making sure you have the right trailer configuration. Yeah, it's attaching to the trailer and connecting all those cables and all that stuff. So that part we still don't have, but that itch of mine, that craving of mine, that aspect of trucking has been scratched very well. If you're going with the metaphor, it has been scratched very well by Farm Sim. So that's why I'm really enjoying that game. And I get to play with you guys. So multiplayer and all the logistic stuff. If you want to really like use a low loader, a low bed, so that you can haul tractors in, then you would have to drive the tractor into that low bed. You know, all that, and lock it in and strap it in, and then make sure it's locked before you move. Otherwise, the tractor would fall off. And things like that. So it shows the hidden side so far of being a truck driver. So I'm still wishing that those features eventually get implemented in Truck Sim itself, because we're missing that. Yeah, we're missing that huge thing. Right now we are mainly driving, and it's amazing, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you're looking for more, right? Sometimes you want to really get into the life of a truck driver, and this is only telling a part of that story. Where are we parking this thing? I think right there. Okay, gotcha. Why do the arrows say opposite? Am I in the wrong lane? No, it should be the right one. Stop here, it says. Okay, good. 33 tons. I think just the right amount there. Just the right haulage. Now, to be fair, Farm Sim is not perfect either. I mean, it's amazing because it has all those options of really working with trailers. Like, for example, you have a double trailer, a triple trailer, that's possible. And you have to hook to each of those trailers separately. And you have to adjust the trailers separately and really set them up. It's not like everything is set up in one go, you just pick it. Not like that, so it's cool. But if you compare the driving, like, there is no comparison. Farm Sim has a very arcadish physics and driving mechanics. You cannot even shift. There's no such thing as a transmission. It's just from 0 to whatever the top speed of the truck is, the vehicle is, and that's that. So it doesn't focus on the driving, it focuses on all the other aspects. Truck Sim is the opposite. It focuses only on the driving and not on the other aspects. So if there is a way to mix both of those, yeah, combine those all, that would be the perfect combination. Really looking forward to that. I'm not sure if SKRS has anything like that planned though in the near future. They did share their plan for 1.37 and 1.38, right? 1.37 will be the sound update, the F mod sounds. Really looking forward to that one. And also part of the, at least for ATS 2, part of France will be rebuilt and improved, so that's amazing. 1.38 will include graphics updates, but I have not heard anything about gameplay updates, like adding stuff that people have been wanting forever. Going down the truck, attaching the cables yourself, loading stuff yourself, multi-drops, nothing of the sort. So I'm not sure if those are being planned anytime soon. So until then, whenever I get the itch for doing all of that stuff, you know, that's what makes me go into farming. Yeah, to tell you the truth, and I've been very open about this. Farming sim I like, not mainly for the farming. I'm a city boy. So the farming aspect is interesting, It's new to me, but it's not something that it's not my number one thing in farm sim. The thing I like the most in farm sim is being able to take a truck and do everything end to end. Load stuff, haul stuff, drive stuff, unload stuff, set up the trailer, and all that stuff. All the stuffs you can think of. And even though the driving aspect itself is not very realistic, it more than makes up for it with all the other features that you can do. So I might actually do a video where I focus on that, just to give you guys a peek into what I've been enjoying in farming. I just got myself a Scania R mod, which has a hook trailer config. It's super cool. First time I've seen how a hook trailer works. I didn't know such things existed actually. That's how ignorant I am. And yeah, in farming I see how that works, how you can mix and match different trailers. You can attach a tanker at one point and then remove it, attach then a tipper trailer afterwards, all with that hook trailer. And it's also cool. I'll make a video for that, guys, don't worry. And I'll show you what I've been enjoying in farming. Yeah, trucking and farming basically. But not only that, but the farming itself is amazing as well, because you get to play with the guys and really work on a farm together, trying to get some income together. Also the part where you can deliver stuff to different farms, take a truck, get some water, get some manure, now load them up yourself, deliver them to some of the farms and earn money from it. That's what I've been doing in farming, if you haven't watched any of the streams. So I highly recommend that you go back and watch those streams, because it's really an immersive experience. And if you've ever craved for those features, and if you're one of those people, I know I'm one of them, who've craved for additional gameplay features in Truck Sim, and instead of waiting for it, might be time to give Farm Sim a go. After all, it was free. I don't think it's free anymore. It was free in the Epic Game Store until last week, I think, for a limited time. And yeah, I've been, how do you say, exposed to a brand new world. So expect more farming, expect more trucking in the channel in the near future, and hopefully more flying as well. By the way, speaking of birthdays, I know, very off tangent, but I did wish XBS a happy birthday in the beginning of the video. That's because I saw when I was reading through the threads, people were greeting him happy birthday. I'm not sure if it's today or yesterday, but still, XBS happy birthday. And speaking of birthdays, it is my birthday this week on Friday, Feb 14. Yes, I'm a Valentine's boy, Valentine's kid. And maybe not a kid anymore, maybe not a boy anymore, Valentine's old guy. But yes, we will be streaming, don't worry. We'll probably do some kind of trucking and farming, both of them probably. We'll see how it goes. But I don't have anything fancy planned, but if you want to hang out, more than welcome. I'm going to be streaming the usual time and might be extending, so might be doing a longer stream than usual. You will see how it goes. I'm liking this truck. Looking pretty stable, the physics look to be spot on. But then again, what else can you expect out of XBS, right? The only thing that I probably would like to get improved is the right mirror. If you can see, I can hardly see my truck from there. I think you only get that problem with XBS's trucks if you have the R physical mirrors, RFIS mirror settings turned to 1. If you don't have it on, I don't think you'll have a problem. XBS probably plays with it set to 0, so it doesn't know that there is this issue. But yeah, with RFIS 1, look at this. If I show you, go to the, so like the left one, You can see, you can adjust it to the so much that you can actually see your truck, which is good. See a little of it, right? But the right one, if you have the RFIS mirror setting, this is the leftmost. I can turn it to the right like that, but if I go and move to the left, that's the extreme. Yeah, so I can't see the truck at all. And it's going to make it harder for reversing. I noticed that XBS has that kind of setting for most of his trucks. I think for the previous Autocar, it's also a problem. I think I remember that. So he probably is not aware of an issue with the physical mirror setting. Oh, it's one of those random event things with the traffic light. One sec, guys, I have to cough. And I'm back. I hope that got muted properly. Well, I'm going to sit here for some time. But yeah, one more reason that I've been doing farming more often, aside from enjoying all those features that I've been missing in this truck sim, is because not a lot of things have been happening in the trucking world. There is usually these lulls. And it's not the first time it's happened. It's all very normal, you know. There are some times when everything, it just feels like Christmas. All the stuff is happening. And it feels like everybody's releasing a new mod. SES themselves are releasing a new update, a new DLC, and all the things are releasing at the same time. And there are times like this when it feels like nothing's happening. Like no new updates, no new news, no DLCs, nothing. But thank goodness XBS changed that, and he broke the momentum. So now at least we have something. That's why I'm showing you this truck. But the other stuff, not so much. The other thing that's new is the dolly trailers from Mr. Capital. So ATS as well. So in the ETS2 world, it does seem pretty quiet. I mean, not zero updates totally, but not so many updates, right? So yeah, not as many things to show. And so while the lull is happening, remember our cows in the farm. I have to remember to feed them. But yeah, while that's happening, might as well enjoy myself and check out the other features in farming that I have not been exposed to before. Yeah, that explains why many of the trucking fans are also farming fans, because of those things that I mentioned. If you're ever craving of a trucking mechanic, that is probably implemented in farming, although not on a simulation level, but still, it's there. So that craving can be satisfied in a way. So if you have not checked out any farm sim videos before, like I'm not a farming fan, I don't like farming, give it a chance and check it out, because it definitely will blow your mind in terms of what you can do in that game. So many things aside from farming that you can do. And some of the map makers are very creative. Like the map we're in right now, Sussex Farms. The guy who did that might be a trucking fan, I'm not sure, because he added so many trucking jobs, transporting jobs, logistics, like getting diesel from the plant, delivering it to the gas stations, and earning money when you deliver the diesel, things like that, or taking like the manure and liquid, delivering them across the different farms in the map, and you're getting money each hour as long as those farms have supply, like you're the supplier. Yeah, those kinds of things. And you have to really park very well. Park right next to the tank, or park right next to the manure spot to deliver it, and you can actually see the manure piling up and the farm activating when you deliver it to them. So it's also cool. And if you think about it, that's exactly what we're doing here, right? We are delivering stuff, but here it kind of is a bit the driving experience itself, I have no complaints. It's the best ever. You can do all the things. It's a simulation. Like you can float gears, you can double clutch, you can all the realism you can think of. So in terms of driving, pretty much has everything locked in. But yeah, the other aspects, when before you deliver, like when you're picking up the loads and after you drop them off, it feels so opaque, right? Not transparent, opaque. Like whenever you remember that if you have a cargo, if you have your own trailer and then you load stuff up, when you press load, it just turns to black screen, right? And it says loading cargo. Imagine being able to do that yourself, like using a forklift and loading up the pallets into the trailer, stacking them nicely and securing them. That kind of thing is what you can do in farming. So that's really something that I enjoy. That's why I really like that game. I wouldn't call it a simulator though. It's more of speaking of tractor, what is inside that? I think that's an animal, maybe. I don't know, maybe a pig, a few pigs, or a cow. Yeah, it's a sign, guys. It's a sign. I am getting a bit of lag here though. It's interesting. Might be with the mirrors, because I have maxed everything. Even the rendering distance for the mirrors I maxed out. And with 4 mirrors here, that might be a bit too much. Yeah, look at that, 37, 38 FPS. Shame. Nah, let's not be elitists. Let's enjoy the view. Sometimes we tend to be too attached to the numbers. It's not healthy. Can I squeeze in? Thank you. There you go. Little bit of intimidation goes a long way. Yeah, laggy. I might have to remove those mirrors, or I might have to set the mirror distance to medium again. Depends. Would be an interesting experiment. Let's see. If I go and once I get into the highway and I still get that lag, we'll change the settings. Though it's good now. Yeah, it must be the combination of different things, because I have SIPS traffic density as well. So lots of cars on the road, and then the mirror distance is maxed out, so all of them are being rendered in all those mirrors. Yeah, that's going to be cumulative. Look at this. 54, 55. It's going to take us forever. But yeah, you can see the distance of the mirror is really intense. All the way until that far sign, everything is getting rendered. Yeah, 51, 52. Let's do this experiment while we're waiting here. Join me. So if we go and change that into the medium, which is the default one, medium render distance. Let's see if that changes anything. Look at that. Everything is now 60 FPS. That's the maximum I set. But if you look at the distance, you cannot see the sign at all anymore. So it depends on which one you prefer. Personally, I don't notice these things so much, so having it at medium is not a big deal to me. But I do notice a lot of FPS, so I would rather have it locked to 60 like this and super smooth, and have those mirrors and have them at a lower rendering distance. I think I like that better, because it's not bad there. Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't notice it as much. Especially while you're driving, you won't notice these things. I mean, you'll still get to see the car that's near you, even that's one that's a bit farther away. So it shouldn't be that much of a deal breaker. But yeah, look at the frame rate, guys. Super smooth, right? Locked to 60. Quickly. Okay, won't make it. Maybe the next batch. Lotus. Looks like a fancy sports car. Let's make sure to keep our distance from that guy. Might be an expensive repair bill. What is this mulcher anyway? What does this guy do? Yeah, imagine this one. we have it strapped in, right? If you have this guy on farming, you have a low bed like this, and you have a tractor like that, you'll have an option. Like right now, I have no clue how this got there. Yeah, being an ignorant guy, I have no clue how this works. But if this is in farming, and it is, I know there's a low bed there, and you can put a tractor in the middle. You'll have an idea how this exactly works. Like, I don't know, do some pieces detach? How does the tractor drive in? Where's the ramp? Does these 3 axles fold or something? Yeah, I have no clue. But yes, you will see that work in farming. Did I just miss my window? I guess I did, huh? Too busy talking. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's really something that I would like to see in trucking. So I'll make a video soon showing you how a trailer works in farming sim. And you'll see what we're missing in the trucking world. Because for me, it's not just about the driving. I want the entire package, you know. That's something I'd really like to experience. Now that is immersion. Because this one, it feels too much like... well, I guess it is quite real in the sense that truck drivers are drivers. When you load stuff up, it's not the truck driver that's doing it. There's a separate guy from the place that's managing the forklift. So I guess from that point of view, this is realistic. You get exposure to the truck driver part itself. But I want to experience the end-to-end, you know? I want to see how the entire process works. How things get loaded from the warehouse to the truck. How they get dropped off. How those trailers actually open, and how do you lock those pallets in different types of trailers, because that's something the truck driver, I'm sure, would need to mind, right? Like, you have to make sure that the weight balancing per axle is good. You have to make sure that the load is locked properly, strapped down properly. How do you even strap it down? How do you even open the trailer? And we all have these fancy mods from Cast, from different modders of the different trailer configurations. But they don't look the same, but they are all closed, and you don't know how to open them. They're not interactive, basically. So it's all for show. So it would be amazing if SCS would add that feature of opening the trailer, unloading it, making it more interactive, you know, being part of the entire process. That would be amazing. And look at that, another sign, John Deere. A very famous brand, manufacturer of farming equipment. Oh crap. Kind of snagged there a bit, but I think we can make it work. There we go. Stick to low gear. Yeah, I think farming even has that kind of equipment, Farm Sim. But yes, that's something that is hopefully in the books in the future of trucking, of truck sim. So we don't just focus on the driving anymore, but on the end-to-end process. In the meantime, we can get to enjoy pieces of art, works of art like this from XBS. And no, I'm not going third person rather, sticking to first person. Yeah, that's the thing with farming. It's not perfect, so when you go to the first person, the dashboard is not very accurate. It's quite arcadey. The mirrors are not serviceable. They're barely working. So in that point of view, I really miss trucking. Because this really gives you the entire experience when it comes to driving. So they have their own faults and they have their own strengths. And it would be amazing if those can somehow get mixed together. And I crashed into the other trailer. You probably saw that's going to happen. Let's do this one more time, properly this time. There you go. That's more like it. Yes, that's more like it. Ah, actually I'm going inside here, I see. Slow it down, look at that side. I think it looks good. Looks great, even it out. Oh, this is where that would have been nice, that right mirror would have been perfect. That looks good. I'll take it. Thank you. Alright. Cargo is ready for unloading. Straighten the wheels here. And let's go and unload that. Good. Logged in, 4 out of 8. Achievement, progress. Not too shabby. Right. Looking good. Anything I missed? Probably a lot. The mirrors. Oh yes, and those are all animated. Wipers, engine brake. Yeah, Jake brake. Jacob's engine brake, it says there. The wipers. The lights. High beams. Even the high beams are animated. Trailer. Yeah, trailer brake, this one. And the horn. Probably crash room, but you guys let me know, okay? Anyway, let us leave it there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. Go and check out Autocar AT by XBS. Link should be in the video description. The entire mods list should be in the video description as well. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Don't forget to hit thumbs up, hit the like button, comment, share, and all that stuff. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Clumsy trucking, everybody. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.